All right, so welcome again. Thank you for being here again this week. Let's take a seat. Any comfortable seated posture that you can be here for a few minutes in. Let the hands rest in your lap. Just take your time to adjust your posture if need be so that you're really comfortable before you close the eyes and settle in. Noticing the gentle movement of the eyes, letting the eyelids become heavier, and feeling the muscles in the face soften and relax. Starting to turn your focus inward this morning. Paying attention to how you feel in your body right now. Acknowledging any areas in your body that feel perhaps stiff or tight this morning or slow to wake up. Also noticing areas in the body that feel perhaps open and free already. Consider what your body needs from a yoga practice today and how that can guide your movement and your mental focus throughout this practice. Start to energize the muscles in your middle and lower back to help lengthen your spine upward, creating a taller, more alert seated posture. Feel your shoulder blades gently draw down and back as the ribcage and chest lift slightly, so that we elongate the front side of the body from the collarbones all the way down to the pubic bone. Optimizing the posture for a deeper mindful breath. And so now let your focus shift to the breath and begin to more consciously expand the body as you breathe in and contract through your upper body as you breathe out. Consciously filling and emptying the lungs. Letting the sound and the sensation of the breath help keep your mind present. Once you've settled into a consistent, even rhythm, you can float the eyelids open And then we're gonna unfold the legs. Just extend them out in front of you to release the knees and ankles from your seat. Lean back and take your hands behind you so you're resting on the palms. Point your toes and squeeze your shoulder blades closely together to open your chest. And then lift your ribcage and chest to arch through your spine. Breathing into that nice open space on the front side of the body as you expand all of the ribs. One more really deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let it release. Drop the ribcage. Good. Bend your knees and plant your feet as wide apart as your mat. And lean forward to hold the ankles or the shins with your hands. Inhale and lift tall through your spine. And then exhale, drop the chin and round your back as you fold through the legs. Every time you breathe out, see if you can contract more through your abdomen to help bring the body lower. Head is nice and heavy to let the neck lengthen. The next time you breathe in, roll your spine back upright. And then let's fold the left heel in toward your hip, so the knee, or your pelvis, so the knee folds out to the side. And then extend your right leg straight out to the side, kind of like nose to knee pose, except your upper body is facing forward over the hips instead of toward the straight leg. We're going to take a side bend. Right hand's going to come down just inside of the straight leg. Raise your left arm up as you inhale, and then exhale, lean over to the right side toward your straight leg. Let your left arm come up and over your face, so you're stretching through the left side. And work lots of strong energy into the straight leg. Squeeze your quads so that the hamstring gets longer. And then on an inhalation, lift back up. Good, release the arm, and we're gonna switch legs. So your left leg will open up out to the side, nice and straight. Bend your right knee and fold the heel in so it's just in front of your pelvis here. Sitting up nice and tall. The left hand can come down just inside of your straight leg. Raise your right arm up over the shoulder. Inhale, exhale, lean over to the left side. Deep side bend. Right arm is reaching over the face. Beautiful. Every time you exhale, use that contraction to help bring the body a little lower. And then on an inhalation, come on back up. Good. Let's release the legs. Come forward into table pose so you can clear your mat of any prop that you might have been sitting on. And aligning the hips over the knees here. Let's walk the arms forward from table, pressing the chest and forehead down for half down dog. Just finishing up our warm-up of the spine here. Every time you exhale, drawing the spine deeper into the body, creating even more extension through the upper back. And on another inhalation, come on back up to table. All right, let's start warming up the hips and hamstrings. Lunge your right foot forward in between the hands and slide your left knee back. Point those toes and get nice and low in the hips. Deep, low breath. On your next breath in, reach forward and up, rising up to your low crescent lunge, finding balance here as you press down strongly against the front foot and back ankle. Stabilize the legs. And staying here in the lunge, open the arms and then reach the hands behind the back, clasping the fingers. Roll your shoulder blades back and gently straighten the arms behind you, reaching the fist toward your back heel. If this doesn't work for your shoulders, you can do this by holding a strap between your hands instead. Exhale, separate the hands, lean forward and place the hands back on the floor. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee high off the ground now for a high lunge. And then take a twist. Left hand stays down, rotate and raise the right arm up, stacking the shoulders. One more breath in. Exhale the right hand to the floor again. We're gonna hop the back foot a few inches closer to the front of the mat and then press back through the hips as you try to straighten the front leg for pyramid pose. Folding forward for a deep hamstring stretch. Try and really connect your back heel to the floor. If it's still lifted, you might need to hop that foot a little bit closer. Inhale and look forward, lifting your chest and head. Exhale, bend your front knee and step to the front of the mat. Good, let your upper body fold forward over both legs. Head and neck are heavy. And just notice the difference in sensation between the right and left side. Take the hands to your shins and inhale to the flat back position, lengthening your spine. And exhale, fold forward again. Once more, inhale, getting nice and long. And this time, exhale, fold and step back to plank pose. Align the shoulders over the palms and squeeze the legs together. Take 5 deep breaths here. And the next time you exhale, slowly lower to the ground. Point the toes and inhale, arch to cobra pose. Exhale, roll down, let it go. Twice more, inhale to lift and arch back. Exhale, release. One more cobra, inhaling. And exhale, let it go. Let's press back up to the table pose on the hands and knees. And then lunge your left foot forward in between the hands. Good. Glide your right knee a little farther back and point those toes so you can press the top of the ankle into the floor. On your next breath in, reach forward and up, rising to low crescent lunge. And we're going to keep the legs as they are, reach the arms out to the side, and then behind you, clasping the fingers or using the strap to connect your arms. Squeeze the shoulders together and then reach the fist back toward your heel, extending the arms. One more breath in. Exhale, release, leaning forward and placing the hands down. Tuck your back toes and lift that knee now nice and high, reaching back through the heel. And then take your twist here. Right hand down, rotate from the waist as you raise the left arm up. And on an exhalation, take that hand back to the floor. We're going to hop the back foot a few inches closer to the front of the mat and then press back through the hips as you try to straighten the front leg for pyramid pose, folding down through the upper body. Connecting your back heel to the ground. Lots of energy through the legs. On an inhalation, lift your chest and head. Exhale, step forward, folding over the legs for standing forward bend. Hold on to your elbows this time. and just feel your shoulders melt down, draping the spine and the rib cage over the front of the thighs. Press evenly through both feet. And take 3 more breaths here. With your last breath out, let go of the elbows. We're going to rise up to stand this time. Inhale, open the arms and reach over your head. And exhale, release the arms to your sides. Stand tall in mountain pose. We're going to move through some sun salutations. On an inhalation breath, reach the arms up again. Exhale, dive forward over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Take 1 breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog or stay with cobra. And exhale, make your way to our first down dog. Finding that nice long stance between the hands and feet as you press back to lengthen the spine. Settle into that slow, deep breath. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up and reach overhead. Exhale, release your arms. Second round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your arms. Once more, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. 1 breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Try and focus on 1 point. On your next breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, and release. Good, we're going to take 2 rounds of Sun Series B. The first one we're going to be holding chair pose and warrior 1, and then the second round will flow through those with the breath. So stand with your feet hip width apart or together, whichever you prefer. And let's come into chair pose. Bend the knees and sit way back, extending through your arms and spine. And breathe here. Three more breaths. With your last breath out, dive forward to your full, dropping the head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank pose. Take 1 breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale to your back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. On an inhalation, raise your right leg up into the air and hold here, 3-limb dog. our preparation for stepping into lunge. Look at your hands, inhale. Exhale, step that foot all the way forward. From your lunge, ground your back heel to the floor, setting up your foundation for warrior one, and then rise up, reaching the arms over the shoulders, trying to square the hips and torso to the front of your mat. And focus on really lifting the back knee as you get low in the front knee. So opposing energies in the limbs. On an exhalation breath, lean forward and place the hands on the mat. Lift your back heel and return to plank pose. Take a breath here and then exhale to lower down. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, make your way to down dog. From this down dog, raise your left leg up and hold here a few breaths. Finding nice height in the leg. And then use the energy of your exhalation. As you contract, step that foot all the way forward in between the hands. Good. Ground your back heel to the floor and then rise up to warrior one. Holding here. One more breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor, back heel lifts. Step again to plank. Take one breath in and exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Stay here and breathe. On your next inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Coming into chair again. Bend your knees, sitting way back. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up, holding here. The next time you inhale, stand up, reaching toward the ceiling. Exhale, arms to your sides. Just take a few breaths here in mountain pose. Slow down your heart rate by exhaling longer than you inhale. Notice how your body feels after that sequence. It's more dynamic than Sun Series A with the addition of those two standing poses. And so we're going to come through that sequence one more time, this time linking the transition movements with the breath cycle. But if you need to breathe more frequently or take an extra moment before you move on, feel free to do that. If you actually just excuse me, I'm going to turn my fan on. A little warm in my house right now. All right, so with the breath, we're not moving any quicker. We're just coordinating with the breath cycle. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. On an inhalation, raise the right leg. Exhale, step to lunge, ground your back heel. Inhale, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, through the hands, back heel down. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now we hold. So stay here and breathe. On your next breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come into chair pose. Exhale, stand and release the arms to your sides. Mountain pose. Take a few breaths here. You can close the eyes if you like. Noticing how the body feels. And trying to slow down the heart rate again. Just keeping things in balance. Once the breath and heart rate feel a bit calmer, you can relax the stance. We're going to take a sequence from triangle into warrior two into extended side angle pose. So 3 postures linked together. And if you have a block or 2 blocks that you'd like to use for the hands in triangle and extended side angle, you can have that on the left side of your yoga mat. So we're going to start with the left foot forward first. Take a big step back with your right foot and separate the feet wide enough for your triangle pose and angle that back foot a little bit. So starting with straight legs, feel every muscle in the thighs contract, and then open the arms out to the side so the chest and torso are open to the long side of your mat. We're going to rock the hips back toward the end of the mat, and then lean the upper body forward toward the front, and then pivot the arms so the left hand comes down to your block or the ankle or shin. The right arm is stacked, reaching up toward the ceiling. Good, keep squeezing those thighs. Strong foundation through the lower body. And see if you can feel your right rib cage roll back slightly so that the abdomen stays nice and open toward the long side of your mat. We're going to use the strength of the exhalation breath to contract the core and rise up. So the next time you breathe out, lift back up. Beautiful. Once you're here, bend your front knee for warrior two. So the legs should be roughly the same, but if you need to adjust a little bit, go ahead. Try and find that nice depth to the front leg now. Thigh coming down about parallel to the floor as the back leg stays long and straight. Good. Upper body is still open the way it was in triangle pose. You can turn your head now if you like to look over one of your front fingers, bringing a little stretch and rotation into the neck. From here, just like with triangle pose, you're going to lean your upper body forward again. So reaching, creating the long angle. And now the left hand comes down again, outside of the foot, on the block or the floor. Sweep your right arm forward over your face. So you create a diagonal line from the fingertips down the side of your body to your back foot. Extended side angle pose. You want to keep the same feeling of warrior two in the legs, so that front knee is bent deeply. And try and make sure that the knee is not drifting over toward the right side of your mat. So I like to really glue it to the inside of my left arm here. Good, look down at the ground, release your right hand, lift your back heel, which should put you in a lunge pose. You can move the block out of the way. Let's just bring the back knee to the floor. So now we're in a low lunge with your left foot forward. right knee is down. Let's take both arms inside of the front leg. Move that foot over a few inches and turn it out. And drop the knee out to the side, opening the outer hip. You can take a little rocking motion here if that feels good. Stretching those external rotators on the left side. And then you can stop the motion. Let's move the foot over even a little bit more. You can take it off of the mat to the side. Plant your palms in line for plank pose and lift your back knee up again. And from here, step the left foot back and find plank. Good. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale to the floor. Inhale to cobra. It can be low or high. Exhale, roll down. Let it go. Inhale, press up to the knees. Exhale, back and up into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Just notice if there's any different sensations in the left side of the body compared to the right. On your next breath in, look forward. Exhale and step to the hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Stay here a few breaths. You can hold the back of your calves or your ankles. Just hug your upper body to the lower body. And if your block is in reach, you can just move it over to the right side of your mat before we come up. And then when you're ready, inhale, open the arms, rise up to stand, and exhale, release the arms to your sides. Good, we're gonna take all of that for the other side, starting with triangle. Your right foot is forward, step your left foot back. Increase the space until you have a long enough stance for triangle. So legs are strong and straight. Let's open those arms out to the side again. Feeling the front side of your upper body open and facing the long edge of the mat. And then tilt your hips back and lean your upper body forward. So those counter each other. And then pivot your arms so the right hand finds support on the block, the floor, or your lower leg. And the right arm reaches up. Left arm reaches up. So once the shape is established, re-energize the legs. If they relaxed at all, contract your thighs to support the foundation. And try and draw your left rib cage back slightly. On your next exhalation, contract your core and rise back up. Good. From here, bend your front knee deeply for warrior two. Make any adjustment in the feet if you need to so that you can get low in your front leg. Rotate your neck if it's comfortable to look over one of your front fingers. And the legs are going to stay in this shape. For extended side angle, lean your upper body forward again, reaching toward the front. And then take your right hand down outside of the foot. Sweep your left arm over your face. So the bicep is right by your cheek. You're reaching your left hand away from your left heel, creating one long diagonal line. Try and keep your right knee connected to the right bicep. So that it requires a lot of engagement through the glute and the outer hip, those external rotators of the thigh bone. And then look down, release your left hand, lift your left heel, so you should be in a lunge. Let's bring the back knee to the floor. You can move that block out of the way for now and take both hands inside of the front foot. Move that foot over a little bit and turn it out, and let your knee and thigh drop away from the right shoulder to open the hip. And if you like, you can take some swaying motion back and forth. And then you can stop the swaying, move the right foot over even more so it's off of the mat. Plant your palms shoulder width apart. Let's lift the back knee up again, and from here, step to plank. Good, take one deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose, low or high. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up to the knees. Exhale, back and up to downward facing dog. Take about 5 breaths here. On an exhalation, let's bring the knees to the floor and take a rest in child's pose. Sit back on the heels to let your upper body release down toward the floor. And close the eyes here. And start to let go through the shoulders and the arms. Move them if you like so that they can really relax in this shape. Feel your thighs and your hips soften. Even feel the ankles and the toes relax. From here, I'm going to have you lift your head, walk your hands in, and we're going to sit back on the heels for a moment in a hero pose. If this isn't comfortable for your knees, you can take a cross-legged seat. We just want to do a little shoulder and chest opening before we come into a back bend this morning. So let's just take the hands behind the back and take whichever thumb you don't normally cross on top, so you interlace the fingers. It'll feel maybe surprisingly different to just do the non-habitual thumb. Roll your shoulders back to open the chest and then reach the fist down toward the floor to straighten the arms behind you. Try and keep the normal curvature in your lower back. Just trying to resist the urge to arch more there so that it feels like you're opening the chest more, but it's really just a product of the lower back arching, so keep that curvature normal. And then you can start to lift the arms away from the hips, just seeing what range of motion is there. Opening the collarbones, breathing deeply here. One more inhalation. And exhale, let it go. Separate the hands, just let them rest in your lap for a moment. And take some small circles with the shoulders, smoothing the shoulder blades all around. Gradually getting a little bit wider. Good. All right, let's lift up off of the heels and come into a kneeling position. We're going to take camel pose this morning. And you're welcome to practice this with the hands supporting the lower back and the hips the whole time, or you can work on taking the heels. So I'm going to tuck the toes under so the heels lift, so they're a little closer. The fingers come together, thumbs at the sacrum, fingers fanning across the side of the pelvis here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together again and tuck your tailbone down toward your knees. And then gently press the hips forward in space as you lean your elbows and shoulders back. So just countering that motion in the hips with the upper body. And as you're leaning back, see if you can start feeling your rib cage and chest lift up. So we bring more of the arch into the upper back. Right, you can stay here with the hands supporting the pelvis, or you can try reaching one or both of your hands for the heels. Few more breaths here. If your hands are at the heels, return them to the back of your pelvis, and then lift up from the chest to straighten the spine and draw the hips back. Point your toes and sit down on the heels again for hero pose. Just let your arms relax, hands resting in the lap. Just take a few moments to let your spine find its normal alignment. And then we're going to come forward into table pose. Take your time, lean forward and place the hands down, walk the knees back a little bit so they're in line with your hips. And then we're going to take half down dog. Walk your arms forward and press the chest toward the ground to now lengthen the spine. So when we do a really deep back bend like camel pose or wheel pose, it's important to counter that motion of the spine, but to do it slowly so it's not a shock for your vertebrae and your discs. So starting here before we go to forward bends and twists is going to help ease into that counter motion. Let's take a few more breaths. Good. Come on back up to table. And then we're going to come into threading the needle for a gentle twist. Raise your right arm up and open to that side. Exhale and sweep the right arm underneath you, coming down to the shoulder and the side of your head. Move your left hand over a little and push the ground to lean back more on the right shoulder and start to feel that twist move up the spine. And if you feel like your hips are swinging over to the left side a lot, try and draw them back so that the hips are even and aligned over the knees. And that'll actually deepen the sensation of twisting if you keep the pelvis in line. Good. Let's slowly come out, push down against that left hand to come off of the right shoulder. Reach up to the right again to counter twist, and then take it back to table. Other side, raise your left arm up. Exhale, sweep it underneath you, threading the needle, shoulder and the side of the head down. Move your right hand over a little and push down with the right hand to lean back. And try to avoid your hips dropping over to the right side. So if you feel that, just draw them back. Nice deep breath here. Coming out, press against the right hand, coming off the shoulder. Reach up to the left side again, open, and release back to table. Good, let's have a seat. We're going to take a few forward bends and a twist to finish up. If you'd like to elevate your hips, go ahead and grab a prop like a folded blanket or a bolster. And we're going to start with seated bound angle pose. Bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide out to the side. Hold on to your feet or your ankles and sit up nice and tall here. Take a few breaths in the upright position as you first focus on widening the knees. And before we fold, tuck the chin down toward the chest and then pull gently against your feet or your ankles, starting to guide the spine forward and down, just little by little. Breathing continuously as we gradually fold. You can use your elbows to help gently widen the knees or thighs if they touch there. Just be aware that the shoulder blades don't come up toward your neck and create tension there. So you still need to be mindful of the shoulder blades gliding down the back. On an inhalation, come on back up. Bring the knees together and straighten the legs out in front of you. Point the toes up as you reach through the heels, getting long through the legs, and take your hands to the floor just outside of the hips. Push against the fingertips to lift up nice and tall into a L shape or staff pose. Just preparing for fold. Keep this length in your spine and raise the arms up. Tuck your chin and lean forward, reaching the arms out and then holding anywhere that they land on the lower leg or the heels. Feeling the pose evolve with the breath, you can kind of lift up a little and lengthen forward on an inhalation, and then maybe fold more on an exhalation. I often just do that a few times. Kind of feels like I'm almost inchworming the rib cage farther down the thighs until I eventually get to a point where it feels like I'm at my longest feeling in the spine, and then I just let it settle in the shape. When you're ready to come out, inhale and rise up. Good, let's come down off of your support if you're sitting up and carefully roll down to your back side. We're gonna end with a reclined spinal twist. So once you're on your back, slide your left leg down and bring your right knee in toward the upper body and then cross it over the pelvis for the twist, floating the right arm out to the side. You can give yourself a nice adjustment by sliding your bottom hip over to the right side of your mat, just a couple of inches, so that the hip joints, your SI joints here, stack directly on top of each other. And even though we're really winding things down, keep the breath full and deep for this last pose here. And feel how the breath can really help the movement of the twist. Expand more deeply as you inhale and contract as you exhale, bringing more rotation into the spine. Kind of like the action of wringing out a wet rag. When you squeeze and contract, the rag twists more. It's the same concept here with the breath and the spine. When you're ready to switch sides, gently roll out of the twist to your back. Bend both knees and press against your feet to align your hips so they're below the shoulders. Take a moment to let your back just relax into the floor. And then switch legs. Right leg slides down, left leg comes in toward the upper body and then crosses over the pelvis. Float your left arm out to the side to counter the leg. And if you're going to do that adjustment, start to slide your bottom hip over the left side of your mat just a little bit. And then let your body melt into the shape, keeping the breath nice and full. When you're ready to come out, gently unwind. Bend both knees and adjust your hips again so they're centered below your shoulders. Take a moment to feel the spine and ribcage settle back into their normal shapes. And then lastly, bring both knees to the chest. Just give your body a hug, wrapping the arms around the legs. You can rock a little bit side to side if that feels good. One final release for the spine. And then we'll rest for a few minutes in corpse pose. So get yourself comfortable lying down on the back, or you can support your body with props if you like. And once you're there, gently close your eyes. Feel your shoulders get heavy. Letting the arms melt down into the ground and the fingers curl into a relaxed position. Feel your pelvis get heavier as it sinks into the floor, releasing any active energy that might remain in the legs, as the thighs, and the kneecaps and the calves soften, and the ankles and feet relax. And take one deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. The lower jaw relax and invite your natural breath to return to the body, letting go of the deep conscious breathing now. And enjoy this time to rest. slowly bring your attention back into your body and take a few deeper breaths before you start to move a little bit. Taking any little stretch or movement that would feel good to you right now. And then eventually roll over to one side, curling up into a fetal pose. Just noticing how you feel right now here at the end of your practice this morning. And stay with that feeling as you come upright, finding a comfortable seated posture with the eyes closed. Noticing the sound and sensation of your breath again. Sitting tall as the breath energy fills the body. And we'll end our practice chanting Om one time. You can bring the palms together in front of the heart and take a deep breath in. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making the time and space to practice this morning and expressing gratitude to your own body. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this class. It's great to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.